Hello everybody and welcome back to the labs. I am Towsty and thank you for joining me here on another episode of InfinityLabs Season 2. Hanging out here on our custom RR-ish server. Whoa, that's close. Last episode we did some work on our armor and stuff like that, and today we're not at our base at this exact moment. We're quite a ways away actually. Quite a long ways away. It's kind of down here somewhere-ish. I lost it. I knew where it was. We're northeast of our base. I know that much. And we're hoping to start getting some applied Energistic meteors. I've been doing a bunch of work today, working on the whole the whole moving in situation of our barrels and stuff, and I got a lot accomplished. However, I am kind of tired of beating my head against what's going on with the lags. That's a bad lag, isn't it? Wow, gold mine. I've been beating my head against the wall trying to get this all crammed in and done the way I want, and so I decided, you know what, I know I said we were going to do logistics pipes. I still have a plan to use them for my bee automation, but on a whole, I'm going to say, yeah, we're going to make this jump to applied energistics. What is the current lag situation? Good night. So, anyways, last episode, our armor and stuff we were working on, and that went interestingly. I should be able to vein mine this, but this is just ridiculous. Hold on, let me figure this. All right, a good deal of bug squashing, lag hunting later. We're back, and we were able to finally get our skystone. So, here's what I've been working on over here. Don't let me forget to talk to you about this. Not that you can remind me. So, I've been moving all these barrels in, right? I got lots of pipes actually set up back here. Not the whole thing yet. And it's just starting to look way too busy. And it's starting to get ridiculous. And moving in, like, I've still got stuff strewn out here. And it's infuriating, is it not? Like, it's just ridiculous. So, I'm gonna move away from this system for my bulk storage, at least for my main sorting and storage. Obviously, I've got an idea for bees and for farms and things like that I might use it for. Definitely for bees, not, especially considering I have all the items and stuff. But for now, that's kind of what I was thinking. I couldn't do it. I really wanted to, couldn't do it anymore. Played with the auto crafting, pretty cool. Just couldn't be bothered. I did upgrade all these to provider pipes too, and like requesting, 30 of these is actually quite a lot quicker than it used to be now. Whoop, right? So that's awesome. But it's a mess, guys. It really is. And upgrading all these barrels is getting a lot. So it's been a lot. Yeah, it's been an adventure. So we're going to start to tear all this down and pull it into an ME system. And unfortunately, that's going to leave some gaping holes in our walls, but I'm not that worried about that right now because of this little guy here. This is the Quantum Enrichment Device, which reminds me I have a couple things running in the background, creating a wee bit of lag. Okay, so I feel like I'm still getting quite a little bit. Anyways, yeah, so this little guy here is used, it's kind of like a proprietary, get out of my face, you fruit fly, proprietary crafting system for extra utilities. And what it makes stuff. It's a crafting grid, right? Like, it's simple as that. Yeah, there are certain recipes that can only be done in here, one of which is this guy that I just passed, the Magnum Torch, which, sorry, that was probably really loud for you, wasn't it? Which, potion of healing, potion of regen, not too bad, couple logs and some chandeliers, diamonds, torches, gold, that kind of stuff, makes a really fancy torch that's quite large. In fact, it looks like this, which does a massive area worth of mob spawning denials. So like a huge area around our base is gonna no longer spawn mobs. And the reason that I did that and that I really pushed for that off camera and like instead of waiting for you guys just made it happen is because I also had to put one over here. This like point-to-point limit might be okay, but the height limit isn't huge on it. We've also had to shorten the server distance, which is really sad. Anyways, so what I was saying was that it's this like mob spawning of creepers was driving me insane. The evolved creepers and that boss. Remember I don't know if you guys watched the Mech Station series. If you didn't, go check it out. At the beginning of it, I was having issues with the way that what are they called? The big slime things. What are they called? King slimes. The way that they were spawning in the world was just driving me up the wall. Like I just could not tolerate it anymore. And I went a little crazy. You guys may remember that. So we even actually moved our whole base because of that, partially. I cannot tell if there's like horrible thunder or somebody is dragging something against my house. Oh well. Anywho, the same thing was happening with these guys and I had to get rid of them. So we're going to start working on a bit of AE. Before I do that, I wanted to talk to you guys a bit about this. So the modular armor is still very cool. The protection levels on it, not huge. I added a whole bunch of protection. If you look here, they have sliders. They're all set to 50% by default. I put them all up to 100%. They still don't block a lot of everything. In fact, one thing they don't seem to block any of is, what do you call it? Oh, that's thunder. Yeah, that's thunder. Projectiles. They don't seem to block any projectiles, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. And then the other thing that I did to make sure that these guys stay charged, because flying uses quite a bit, and there seems to be a bug with the solar plate that just drains energy for some reason. I don't know. I had to take that piece out. I had to make these couple guys, a slice and spice and the sagmail. Sagmail is to make silicon. Slice and spice was to make a resonant controller, or resonating controller for this guy here, which, that's the wrong button. There we go. The Ender Resonator is made in there like that. You need an Enderman head, some vibrant alloy, some solarium. We're going to get into a lot of stuff we hadn't gotten into before. Is a wireless charger, and we'll just passively charge my armor while I'm near my base, which is pretty amazing and was what filled this up, because I did upgrade these all to the resonant storage upgrades, which is not that expensive considering it doesn't consume items. So after doing all that, I made a couple more of these guys because we really depleted our power resources. And then I went ahead and started to move in some more, and I had this digital miner running. And if we come up here, I've also outfitted this system, which is going to triple our ores instead of just double, right? Which basically makes oxygen. We've got our pump, electrolytic separator, making oxygen. I was using a gas filter in this. If you look at the upgrades, you can put a liquid filter, which picks up heavy water instead of just water and pumps it in, and that creates oxygen and deuterium. So you can see we've got a good amount of deuterium here, which will be used for later. And I was kind of like, chemically, I think that heavy water contains more oxygen and more hydrogen, or just one or the other. But it's a real chemical, like it's a real compound that's used in a lot of nuclear reactors and things like that. And so I thought that should technically produce more oxygen to keep up with this. It might, but it produces it so slow, there's a bottleneck unless I would have another pump. So actually using regular water worked out better here. And in here we have 8 gas upgrades. And this is a purifying factory, an elite crushing factory, and then the enriching and the smelting. And that's doing all of our ore stuff. Now that, I may use this system just because it's really easy to grab all of the ores. Well, I'll decide that still yet. The first thing for AE though is obviously hunting for these presses. And I tell you what, I cannot believe I have gotten these already. This is almost every one we need. We have the inscriber silicon, logic, and the calculation press, which means we just need the engineering press. Which, if we go zoom out to us, are there any meteors nearby? I really don't know. Some of these things kind of look meteorific, but they're not. Those are Thaumcraft thingies. That's pretty cool. Really, a surprising lack of oh, there's one there. So what direction is that? Just, where's my base? Hello? Oh, here it is. Just kind of across to the volcanoes to the west. So come up here and scoot west. I think this ought to do. Now, we're not quite near north enough yet. I have seen some really cool trees and some really cool world gen so far. There was an oak tree that was one of the nicest structured oak trees I'd ever seen. Like, it was just fantastic. One of the issues we're running into, though, is that because we had this pre-generated world and this whole, like, hey, come on back to the system and everything, like, bring what you can carry kind of system, transfer, is that a lot of people are not moving very far from spawn. So we're all very close to each other. What is this? Oh. Hello? Okay, that's pretty much useless. Thanks, friend. I don't know if I've shown it on camera either, but there are things inside of these volcanoes. Like, there are, like, dungeon rooms. But this armor, I mean, you move pretty quick. And I don't know how much of that is the bauble I'm wearing, the sash, if you guys remember. I still got that on. I don't have the speed upgrades on this armor yet. But basically having really fast creative flight is nice. Okay, that's what I was afraid of. So the map data that I have is actually, it's from a single player world, right? Which means it's the correct terrain gen. But a lot of the terrain things, are like generated. A lot of things that you see in the world are generated after the fact, right? So after the actual terrain gen, such as meteors. So when we come over here and we look, there may not be any meteors, even though they do appear on the map. That's actually how I found the last one, and I got really lucky, but wasn't overly helpful. I mean, sorry, but it wasn't like the best system in the world. It was, that meteor was very helpful. This world. Shall we see what treasures lie in wait for us in the blacksmith's house? Not much. Alright, so I guess I'll fly around for a little while. I've seen this world gem once before. This is like a jester's hat from the nether, which, you know, is even more terrifying than a jester. Don't know if there's any function to this. Wow. I cannot believe that I caught myself on that floor. I don't have any lights. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Get away from me, you bats. Shoes of magic. Interesting. Sacred rubber tree. This is the one that we really ought to destroy. Thaumium ingots. Yeah, sure, why not? We can leave the rest of this for now. How does the grass not remain? Yeah, we'll read a book later. I can read a book. And enchanted with corrupting and brilliance. Yeah, I got nothing. Alright, so good to know. The jester's hats are actually handy. I did not know that the first time that I found one. Doesn't look like I'm going to find anything too quickly. I can go make a compass for this, I know, but just with the rate of flying around that I can do and the fact that the world is generated and it's not a huge draw on the server. I mean, it still has to load and unload chunks and stuff as I'm moving around, but I was really hoping to be able to find one real quick. All right, we'll be back. Not too far away. We're here. Wow. Gotta love vein miner. Silicon. No! All right, back on the hunt. Whoa, leg, sorry. This is one of those cool oak trees I was talking about. Just thought I'd show you guys that real quick. And I'm headed towards what on the map is the mark of another meteor, but let me go to limb and say when we get there, it probably won't be there. Yeah, definitely not here. It's cool, foresty area though, isn't it? Temperate rainforest. Big trees, what are these? These are fir trees, right? Yeah, those are pretty cool. I do like a bit of fir wood. Alright, this is gonna have to happen. Great. I'm making the compass. Compass, be mine. Okay. So with this compass, what you do is you just kind of fly in the direction it points. And eventually, and I bet it's going to happen like inside this volcano. Every time you cross a chunk, it's going to get a little screwy like that. Eventually, you find it doing this. Which means, somewhere in this chunk, there is a meteor. Not this chunk. Crap. So it's somewhere in these two. Somewhere right here-ish is... Of course it is. Alright, let's do this. Let's go home. Alright. I just need some cobble. And the only reason I'm doing it like that instead of just flying like the half a foot. Okay, that was weird. So when you've got this meteorite compass spinning like crazy, a good idea is just to kind of follow the chunk line to see what's going on. And in a second here, we should really come up to... F9 brings us up if you have any I install. That's what this grid comes from. Alright, so here's the chunk, like, border. I know I'm in this chunk. We've got it. This chunk, we've got it. This chunk, we don't. Okay, so this chunk... And this chunk, we do. Really should have brought some torches with me. Alright, let me just cut this up. I'm gonna just try and find out where this meteor is. Let's see what we got. Skystone, Inscriber, Logic, and Calculation. I'm gonna go to limb and say I'm pretty sure we didn't need any of those. But all the same, come to me, Skystone. We're gonna dump these guys in there. I completely forgot that I had this bag with me that could do that, even though there's like a default route for a diamond chest on my system. But this is just a massive meteor, so I thought I should probably take advantage of that. Wow. Alright, let's just pick this up and be on our merry way. Come on. There we go. Now, does that still think there's... No, we're good. Okay. We finally got it! And another silicon one, because who doesn't need more of them? Let's just go back to base. Wrong base. All right. Let's just add these to our collection. So, once you've found your presses, you're going to have to start using them. Good grief. That took forever. All right. Let's just get rid of some of our junk. And it might not all have a place, but that's okay. At least it's got something to call home for now. And I am going to do my very, very best to blitz to a storage set that will actually help us. And by that I mean, like, that we'll be able to import everything. I have a lot of different types of items. Too many different types of items. So I'm going to need to make a lot of storage drives. And I need it to be here-ish, really. Like, this is kind of ideal, I think. So there's going to have to be some reworking of the infrastructure. And I probably won't have time to do that. But I will have time to get into it. So we can put away our compass. We won't be needing that anymore. Like, ever. Once you have these circuits, they never break or deteriorate, so you never need them again. And what you can even copy them, these presses, once you have them as well. So there's not, you really don't need it again, ever. Let me just go see if there's room in our bookshelf or anything. Plop, plop, plop. That'll do, and we'll just throw you in here for now. Sure, why not? Okay. So, here we go. Applied Energistics. Basics. You need something to hold items and something to show those items. Usually you can start with a little chest. I'm going to do this. Energy Acceptor. Requires some fluix, some quartz glass, and some iron. Well, we're going to actually... Yeah, why not? We'll start with a stack of this and a stack of that, and that'll have to do us. You go ahead and find yourself a puddle of some sort. Blop, 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 blop. And there you go, you got yourself some. Your first fluix quartz crystals. So, those are going to be real handy for us, but you know we're almost out of charged stuff. We will also need to get ourselves a charger. What's that? Interesting. Which will require a stack of iron, because why not a whole stack? That's really just for backup. I mean, I'm really hoping I don't have to use this anytime soon, so we're just going to throw that there for now. But that'll let me put this regular quartz, this uncharged stuff, and turn it into the charged stuff if I have to. Alright, what's next? Let's go ahead and say I need to indeed make that energy acceptor. Now, you saw that we need the quartz glass. We've got lots of glass made up. We don't have a lot of quartz dust. Quartz dust. Now, there is a way that we can process quartz ore to give us both, but for now, I'm going to take about 3 stacks of quartz. And I think we need to crush it. To the crusher. Oh yeah, this one's not actually sped up at all. We're gonna have to work on that. These aren't gonna cook up anything. No, 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 no. Auto-eject off. Fantastic. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Alright. So I'm gonna let this cook up. I have to remember to turn that on, because I will completely forget to turn that auto-eject back on, and I'll start mining for things, and it'll all go downhill. So, then some glass. There we go. Interesting. Okay, we got enough for the energy acceptor. This is pretty key for when you're getting started. The other thing that I will require is an drive. Right? The next thing, anyways, will be a storage drive, which requires engineering presses and glass cabling. Glass cabling's not really a problem, at least not for this crafting stage. It will be when we come to running things, but until then, we'll just take care of it like that. And we need these. Now, another big problem that we don't have really any of is any quartz. So, I mean silicon. The best way that I know to get silicon is to actually compress clay. So we're going to look into creating clay automatically. Hello, friends. What are you doing in here? Let me see. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I need a hopper. But if you don't have access to lots of clay, let's do what you can use is sand. Sand is you sag mill the sand. It creates nothing except the possibility of silicon. And then if we want to, we can get ourselves... Where's our gravel at? We're going to increase the chances of this a little bit. We'll make a good quarter stack of gravel. Come on, we can do better than that. There we go. If you take flint and or dark steel balls, you can increase the output of your sag mill. Now, our main output obviously goes up a little bit. Our bonus output, which we don't... to be honest, this actually might be a bonus output. Odd. Well, all the same. This may be a bonus output. Anyways, right, you see that? And then everything is increased by probably a quarter of what that is. When you're using the dark steel balls instead. Now, I need to get some inscribers up and running. Okay, so we need some sticky pistons, fluix, and iron. I've got pistons. Do I have anything sticky? Rubber, glue, blood, slime, rotten pears. What? You know, guys, I don't know if I have anything sticky. I probably have some rubber or something in here that I'm not seeing. Thankfully, unlike our last map, rubber's not actually that hard to come by on this one. There's some rubber trees right here, actually. And this will do us for some sticky stuff. Perfect. Why don't we check on our quartz while we're up here? Oh, the lag is killing me right now. Quartz, quartz, quartz. Where's our quartz? Perfect. And... done. Now, we obviously don't need these rubber tree saplings right now, or the rubber wood, but we do need this. So why don't we grab 1, 2, 3, 4. So logic, engineering, and calculation, and then a final. So you need about 8. We don't need 8. I'm gonna make apparently 10 because I can't count when I'm talking. But yeah, so we got some of those. Inscriber. Now I'm gonna make 4 of these, not 5. Don't need all 4. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to set up all 4 right now, but I will be making 4 for sure. Now, come on, we got more cable than this somewhere. Advanced universal cable, there we go. I'm gonna take this. Actually, if I remember correctly, I've got these, I got these, I got these. Let's get it done. So this, like, so we'll start to upgrade those. And then like so. I just want to, like, I have all this cable lying around, and I'd really like to just upgrade it all. But I guess 16 will be okay for now. We're going to put these right here for now, just for easy access, but this is not where they're going to be able to stay because they require some piping space. The brewing stand was for the potions earlier, for the Magnum torches. Plop, 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 plop. Do these require the speed of ultimate cables? Absolutely not. We can use them? Yeah. Why? Why not? They're not that hard to make. We got stuff galore, and as much as we need stuff, I can get more. I would love to know what's going on with my foops. Actually, I do have a thought. This involves restarting my client, and if you've ever played Resonant Rise, restarting a client is not exactly what I would call a short adventure to be on. Alright, so let's take this out like so. Perfect. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Blammo. So the inscribers, they do require power, right? But it's not that bad, really. I mean, they just require a bit of power. And then, of course, they require these presses. So, we've got... Oh, you know what? I do need 5, don't I? Wow. Come on, give me this elbow. Given to me the elbow. Put a new elbow down. Okay. So, what you'll need really to automate this is more space than I have allotted, but you'll need a calculation press, an inscriber, logic, engineering, a silicon, and then at the end of the day, you will need an empty one. And basically, what you need to do is take a couple hoppers. You can rotate these, but for right now, it's like the... Yeah, I did not think this through. Alright, this is going to be a little hard to automate for now. I'll fix this up off camera. To start, let's take our hopper. And what did we say we needed? We needed the drive, which requires the diamond ones, which, if we look, is actually made from... Yes, the engineering ones. So let's take 1, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 diamonds. And our hopper here. And put you like this. What you'll notice is it should... pop in there, but only one goes in. Now, the output can stack, but these inscribers only allow one item in at a time, and oh my goodness, it makes them hard to deal with sometimes. It's really not that bad if you think about it. If you're making a lot of things, you have to have extra stuff around the outside anyways, and it doesn't really process more than one. So there's a couple milliseconds of extra time that's added once the first one is finished and the new one is entering the pot. But all the same, it does require a lot of space around each one to be automated. So annoying. Anyways, what you do is you take these, you grab your silicon, right, which we've been cooking up over here, and you give it a squish as well. Perfect, okay. And that'll do the same thing, and it'll get squished up into a pressed version of it. And then you come over here and you say silicon, you say circuit, you say redstone, and it crunches those two things together to make a completed processor. Awesome, right? Right, I knew you guys would like it. Now, the reaction here is to say, oh, I miss the old AE, or something along the lines of, oh, it's so much harder and it's hard to deal with this kind of stupid stuff. But if you give AE2 a chance, if you haven't played with it yet, which I have a hard time believing, 1.7.10's been the norm for so long now that it's, I have a very hard time believing that people haven't played with it. But there is still a lot of hate for it, which is unfortunate because it is amazing, and it is quite a bit more powerful, honestly, and it's so much more refined for servers and things like that. It handles itself a lot better. Not that it was bad before, but it is much, much, much more optimized now. And that's my brag on AE2. Get used to it. It's sticking. And I've had this rant before, actually, this speech. Unfortunately, it was the community's like huge distaste of AE2 that caused, at least it was one of the leading causes as far as he said, the original mod author of Applied Energistics 1, the only mod author of Applied Energistics 1, and the original mod author of Applied Energistics 2 to leave the Minecraft modding scene. It's a pretty hostile environment, to be honest, and it was disappointing that a lot of people weren't hugely happy with this. And not everybody's gonna be happy, but I mean the rage that came from it was a little ridiculous, to be honest. So you got yourself a system. We're gonna go ahead and I keep doing that. Take this osmium, just plop it down there. Pick these guys up, and we'll just throw them in a chest for now as well. Not bad. And then we'll probably take some power. Actually, what I think we'll have to do here is apparently cook up about 70. What? I'm so confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll need to cook up about 70 iron to get rid of this carbon here, and then I'm gonna crush it all down and try and make some better cabling. I will say, let's just get this done though. Until then, at least I want to get the drive plugged in and hopefully a drive set up before I call it for the evening. Oh, this lag. Oh, my word. Whoop. Now, this plan was originally to be like a full basement. I will fix this FPS lag. I'm sorry, guys. It's a little rough right now. We're going to put an energy acceptor... Well, actually, we're just gonna put it right here, to be honest. Yeah, we'll do that. Then why don't we take our just advanced cables for now and come along over here. So the applied energistic system has its own power unit that exists. Personally, that's one thing I've never understood about it. I don't understand why that's necessary. I mean, like, I understand that it has to have a system of creating power, but it's just odd to me that it's... I guess it's so it can be completely standalone. Like, technically, you could play with vanilla Minecraft with AE. And that's pretty much it. Because it has power generation and stuff in it, I just would never recommend it. Also, not a lot of point to it at that point. Oh, right. Anyway, so it has its own power unit, and what that means, though, is that it will really... it takes any power, but it only takes its own power natively. So you have to have this energy acceptor to take power from something like mechanism or thermal expansion to take RF power and use it for your system. So this has power, but at the moment is not very useful. Interesting. So what we need now is a drive, and I'm gonna try and make this a 4K drive at least. And let me craft this up because this is kind of tedious to watch. But what it is it's a 1K drive, which is a 1K storage component. Sorry, it's the drive, it's just the storage component, right? Which is like this. And then it is a 4K storage component, which takes 3 of them, and so it takes a bit. I'm gonna need a bunch of processors. So we'll be right. What I'm making here are crystal growth accelerators, and this is gonna help us with the process. If you looked at the drive real quick, or I always call them drives, they really should be somewhere in there. The 4K storage segments require these calculation processors, which require pure Certus quartz. Now, to make pure anything, in pure fluix, pure Certus, pure nether, whatever, to make purified stuff in applied energistics, you got to take it a purified seed, which is essentially just like the dust from the quartz that you're gonna make the pure version of. So Certus quartz dust to make pure Certus quartz, and some sand. So for example, like so, equals 2 Certus quartz seeds. You just let those drop in a puddle. Now, they'll take about an entire Minecraft like week or something like that to grow, just sitting in a pool of water. They'll never despawn. Now, if you have like a lag clearing thing like we do, that will delete them, so you do have to be careful with that. What this will do is these guys will speed them up. Now, they only speed up per face that's touching the source block of water. When you throw these seeds in the water, they gotta be in a source block. And then you can surround that source block by these, obviously. Right? Well, clearly you're not going to be able to get all 6 and access the source block still. So I'm making 6 because we have on this server AE2 stuff, which, if we look up the growth thingy again, we have this crystal growth chamber. Right? Which means I can take a hopper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can find myself a couple chests, or I can make a couple. I know I have some laying around. I'll need 2. There it is. And boom, we got a crystal growth chamber, which, she's a witch. If we pick up another one of our barrels, and what's it attached to it? Slap that puppy down. That cable actually may not be necessary. Now, all we'd have to do is say, like, let's take 32 of these. That lag is because they're pasting in a schematic from something, and it's causing so much lag. You put that in there, and you'll see that it will take way less time than a Minecraft week. And it's in a container that will not let it get despawned or deleted. Now, the other thing that this does is it actually only keeps finished products. It can only make 3 or 4 things. You can also make your fluix in here, right? You can make your regular fluix in here if we throw the Certus, the charged Certus, the nether, and the redstone. The only thing that it allows to be pulled out from the sides is completed products. It's pretty easy to catch all of them because there's only 4 things. There we go. There's our pure Certus quartz. All right, so that's really, really a handy thing to have. If you have AE2 stuff, do it. Get it. It's amazing. All right, now back to... We got a bit of storage, and presto, we have a screen to interact with our storage. And that's kind of the basics of what you need. Now we just have to do this. Put all of our stuff in there, except, of course, the essentials that should not go in there, like these things. Yeah, well, I don't know why my hang glider keeps ending up my backpack. It's... How did I get to... What is going on? Nobody wants you, hang glider. Nobody. Okay, so this has been a very long episode. Now I have the incredibly fun task of importing everything into storage, which I'm going to do by making some acceleration cardes. That is not what I wanted to click on, which are pretty much like the simplest thing in the world to make. As far as AE goes, you just need, let's import these. Imported, what up? I'm gonna make 4 of them. All right, they're not the simplest things in the world to make. And and then of course an import bus. Now I'm gonna try and be patient and do this with pretty much this one. But I mean, we all know how it's gonna happen, right? I'm gonna make like 8 of these eventually, probably. That's all right. For now, though, this is what's gonna happen. All right. Import bus, piece of cake, right? Just chunk it on there. Give it some accelerations. Boom, 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 boom. It's gonna pull everything in from the barrels. Just gonna pick it up and move it around. And then out. And then out. And I'm gonna help it with my hands. So, guys, I realize that that's probably been a very long episode. It's been even longer for me. Yep, when I record episodes, I try to make sure that because I'm bad at keeping track how long I am actually recording for, I try to make sure that the amount of time, overall time that passes that I'm recording doesn't go too long. And if it does, it's going to be a couple days. So this has been a few hours of me just kind of sitting here, and I know that a good chunk of that, at least a third of that, has been on screen. So it's going to be a long one. They happen from time to time. Hope you guys don't mind it too much. I enjoy just filming and having fun, so it's always good for me. But until next time, guys, I've been having a blast in this series, and I'm really happy I've decided to go with some AE2 stuff instead of pursuing this logistics pipes as my main system. I just don't do the builds that are necessary to facilitate the space and the different things that I need for it. So, plus moving with it was really, really, really hard. So until next time, guys, let me know if you think I should do like fancy bee setup with logistics pipes. I think it'll be fun, and there's a lot of things built into it. So, until next time, guys, I'm Towsty. We'll see you later. Happy life goes on the way out, and deuces.